again as we continue with our series on the life of Moses, as we're studying his character in terms of his courageous faith leading the people of Israel. Now we are on episode 4, and in this episode we'll ask our sister Abby to lead us.
Yeah, thank you. So, hello again. How are you now?
Yeah.
You're still good? Okay, so now we're going to read in Exodus 32, chapter 32, verses 1 to 14. So we're going to read 2 verses each. I'll go first and then to my right. When the people saw that Moses delayed in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said to him, "Get up, make us gods that will go before us. As for this fellow Moses, the man who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." So Aaron said to them, "Break off the gold earrings that are on the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me."
So all the people broke off the gold earrings that were on their ears and brought them to Aaron. He accepted the gold from them and fashioned it with an engraving tool and made a molten calf. Then they said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt."
When Aaron saw this, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made a proclamation and said, "Tomorrow will be a feast to the Lord." So they got up early on the next day and offered up burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink, and they rose up to play.
The Lord spoke to Moses, "Go quickly, descend, because your people, whom you brought up from the land of Egypt, have acted corruptly. They have quickly turned aside from the way that I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molten calf and have bowed down to it and sacrificed to it and said, 'These are your gods, O Israel, which brought you up from the land of Egypt.'"
Verse 9, Then the Lord said to Moses, "I have seen these people. Look what a stiff-necked people they are. So now leave me alone so that my anger can burn against them and I can destroy them, and I will make from you a great nation."
But Moses sought the favor of the Lord, his God, and said, "O Lord, why does your anger burn against your people, whom you have brought out from the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians say, 'For evil he led them out to kill them in the mountains and to destroy them for the face of the earth'? Turn from your burning anger and relent of this evil against your people."
Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, to whom you swore by yourself and told them, "I will multiply your descendants like the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken about I will give to your descendants, and they will inherit it forever." Then the Lord relented over the evil that he had said he would do to his people.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. Now, so can you feel the tension here that is building up? Okay, so what's happening right now? Okay, so there are two scenarios. I'll just summarize, and then later we're gonna talk about what we are learning about the people and then about God here. Okay, so more of like observations. So there are two scenarios that are happening at the same time. So I want to call it, the first scenario is what's happening in the valley below. Okay, so in the valley below, there were Aaron and the Israelites, and now the Israelites being impatient. Where's Moses now? And then what they did, they approached Aaron and then asked, "Do us a God, make us a God that we can see." And then what happened to Aaron, the spokesperson of Moses, now gave in, and he made the golden calf. And the Israelites, deliberately declared, "Look at this golden calf. This is the one who delivered us out of Egypt." Amazing, right? And then there's another scenario on the mountaintop. And then there's Moses, God and Moses having this conversation again, and then God giving instructions to Moses. But God is also revealing what's happening down below to Moses. Like Moses, what's happening down there, they're making this kind of things that makes me angry, and now God is angry. But then Moses said, "Why are you angry with your people?" But then he interceded for them. And at the end of the verse that we read, verse 14, God changed his mind. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about this two scenarios. But first, let's go to the people first, down below. Now, what are your observations? If we are in that situation, what are you seeing? What's the environment maybe looks like?
So I often try to be. We often see people do things wrong in the Bible. I try to be empathetic with them. I try to think about like what it must have been like for them to do this. So this is hard because they do a terrible thing. But I'm trying to think. Okay, what if you're one of the Israelites, the Hebrew people? You've had a rough time. There's been times you've been low on water. There's been time you've been low on food, and then you finally get to this mountain. Or you get to this place and your leader goes up and is just gone. It's just disappeared. You haven't heard. It's like your pastor or your president or whatever is gone
for quite some time.
So I'm trying to be empathetic with them. I'm trying to think what are they thinking? Are they think, oh, we've been abandoned? Has our God abandoned us? We haven't heard from the spokesperson. We haven't heard from Moses. So that's what I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to make sense of what they might have done here. So I'm trying to be empathetic that they probably felt frightened and abandoned. So then they turn to this.
Amazing. Thank you. How about you, Bea?
I kind of agree, but at the same time, when I think of all the wonders that God did, it's like, okay, you had to wait for a few days. Not a few days, but it's still days. And you've been enslaved for so long, and you saw all these signs and wonders. So how could you turn away so easily? I think at this time, they probably weren't wholehearted towards God. They weren't wholehearted towards God yet. So it was easier for them to go astray. So they were like kind of on the fence. We're kind of following him, but how far we haven't decided yet, maybe.
Okay, now we're seeing the two sides of the story, right? Like, okay, for them, are we being abandoned? And then for this, did you not see the miracles of God? And why you're acting this way now? Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of, I do wonder if some of the people had a stronger opinion about the fact that they've been abandoned, and the rest just sort of went along, because it could be like a mob mentality also sometimes, wherein you have a few people who are saying, hey, didn't we see God do this, blah blah blah, shouldn't we hold on, stay faithful for a bit more? But then they were afraid of the others, so they just went along. What we are doing, imagining here.
So human nature. So once a negative person comes in and said, oh, God doesn't care, Moses is out there, so maybe we'll do something. And then of course, that idea is transferred to another person. So the negative view of the Lord becomes a communal view. And they're saying, okay. And if you read the previous chapters, there's the instruction already for the sacrifices. Aaron becomes priest, and then you have the tabernacle being prepared so that they can worship the one true God. But in the meantime, there's, as you said, there's a tension there. Are we going to obey the 10 commandments that was already given, or we're going to go back to the way things are? And then they were celebrating, they were eating, they were drinking, they were having pleasure, because the word for play there is close to the sexual play, orgies. They were prostituting themselves to a false god, as represented by the golden calf.
How about you, brother?
So it says here Moses spent 40 days and night. But on verse 1, people saw that Moses delayed. So lumagpas na siya sa takdang araw o panahon. No? I think, it's easy sometimes for us if our faith in God is not as strong as like Moses, or it's very easy for us to sway, I think. And so palagay ko, these people, I think, I mean, their relationship with God is not as strong as Moses or other. So the tendency for them to be tempted and to get swayed is very strong as it is. So sometimes tayo rin, I mean, we have to deeply rooted in God's word also, and to dwell in His presence. Mostly the quiet night, to be with Him. No? So seeing here that people sometimes, if God doesn't answer their prayers, kasi they mostly made up their own decisions to themselves, that which leads them to destruction. So I think that's the first part.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very nice. No, I remembered. There's one article that I read that says, yesterday's breakthrough is rashly forgotten in today's crisis. Yeah, so that's why it's happening. That's what happened to the Israelites, and I think it's also happening until today. So that maybe we can search in our hearts. Where am I? Quickly forgotten the blessings of God, and when I'm in this crisis, what am I? How do I respond now? Yeah. Now let's go to Aaron. What do you think of Aaron now?
So
his response.
Yeah, I was just about to say that the scariest part of this is I think I can give some empathy to the people, and maybe even the mob mentality. But wow, it's hard to excuse Aaron. So the scary thing of this is to think that this could happen to even the people that were this close to God's miracles. He was active participant in the miracles, and he knows better, right? I feel so that's what's kind of scary, is to see somebody that was a leader and trusted and was used by God, right at this point, to be doing something that he's engraving. This thing he's making with his own hands. He knows.
And that was the lame excuse, right? They threw the gold, and then it came out golden calf.
Yeah, and that's what Aaron says, and it's not true. Aaron, it says he made it. He had the tools.
Yes.
So that's I don't know. That's scary to me, to think that somebody can be that close and have that kind of knowledge of God, and then feel abandoned or feel betrayed.
This is where the first word that came out with the Israelites when they saw the golden calf. It's holy cow.
Right.
Holy cow.
Aaron is now being part of it.
Yeah.
He's not on the sideline, but he's the main role of this one. He's even said okay, give me your jewels.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah.
So, how about you, Bea?
It's so tricky about Aaron. I don't know if he did it because he was afraid of the people. But we're not told that. It's just strange to me that he was spared. So I feel like there must be some reason why he was spared. Because otherwise we would be blaming him. He's the one who's responsible because he's supposed to be the leader, while Moses wasn't there, and yet he was the one who led them into this sin. So I'm wondering if perhaps he had been afraid, and that's why he did it. Not that is an excuse. Fear is not an excuse to disobey God. And we do see later on, harsh as it is, that Moses commanded the Levites to take up their swords and to kill everyone who participated in the golden calf. So I don't know. Sure. I do remember from seminary days that they're always talking about how among the Israelites that were traveling to the journey land, there's a rabble, and it's always this rabble who is complaining and grumbling about God, and so everybody sort of gets influenced by that as well. Yeah. So I in short, I don't want to judge Aaron yet because I really don't know what is going on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's good. Now let's go to the mountaintop. What's happening there? So what can you share, some insights? What's going on with Moses and with God? How's their conversation now?
This is one of I think this is a strong moment for Moses. where you see, I mean, he could have said, now that I know that this is going on, God, destroy all these people. But he steps in and acts as a mediator for the people. Right? He steps in and presents a case to God to not destroy these people. Right? We see this at other times. God could have destroyed them all and started over with a new people and done things. So this is kind of a good moment for Moses' concern for the people, and also I think his argument is kind of for God's reputation. His argument is don't let the Egyptians. If you do this, then the Egyptians are going to think that you're not a God that can preserve and guide and make his own people. So I think this is a strong showing for Moses here.
Right. Yeah, and Moses is presenting something to God, right? And what is that? From verse 11, like how is he presenting to God? Because God is now angry at this people.
What would the Egyptians say? That you led them out to kill them in the mountains and to destroy them from the face of the earth?
Yes. And what else? He's always saying something about that.
He is appealing to the promise of God to Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, meaning if you are the promise keeper, then you are to keep your promise to your people. He was declaring it based on the character of God, and that if you destroy these people at this time, then how can the other people say that you promised to Abraham that you'll be like the stars in the heavens, and of course the giving of the promised land. So I think here you're looking at Moses as standing in the gap, as you said, as a mediator, as a friend to God, and who among the Old Testament characters can claim that he's able to, maybe Abraham, to be able to really talk that close to God himself and not be burned.
That's why he's also considered the type of Christ, Moses, because of the interceding function of the Son.
Now let's shift our attention to God. What can we learn about God here?
God can get angry.
Yes.
Do not test him.
Amazing, right? So sometimes people would only think of God, that God is loving, he cares for me. But God gets angry too. But he gets angry to sin.
I think this only proves that God is a jealous God, which is the first command. That you shall not have other gods before me. You shall not make a graven image, which they violate already. And that shows you the jealousy of God. Part of the idea of jealousy is in a marital context, like if the husband becomes jealous of the wife or vice versa, there seems to be the idea of a third party. That's why there's jealousy, the anger comes out, and then say, no, you're mine. How can I give you to another person? So that kind of loyalty and faithfulness, that is, I think, Moses is appealing to as well, saying, this is your people, this is your possession. How can you just throw them?
Yeah.
People are sometimes confused because they think that anger is a sin, and that's a blanket statement. But apparently you can be angry about the right things. Because we know that God is without sin, and he gets angry. And he's angry at sin. So we can be angry about the right things. Although it is never in our power to kill, as we saw in the story and life of Moses, because we are not God. We didn't create life. We have no right to take it away, that sort of thing. So we cannot act in anger in that way, the same way that God might be able to.
I think we're reminded that, like, God takes his promises seriously. Like, he's promised this, he's not going to break it. So we see a little bit more about God. This is the reason why his anger is not going to overwhelm his promise. His promise is stronger
Yeah. I think it's righteous anger.
Hmm.
Yeah, which means that this is the correct of the saints, not just an ordinary anger. Kasi, yeah. So yeah, like what Brother Craig said, yung yung promise ni God talaga, no? Yun pa rin yung mas nangingibabaw kaysa dun sa galit niya. And this shows how God is merciful. Like God hated sin, but He is also just, and He is also merciful.
Anything else to add?
There's a seems to be a direct connection between idolatry, which is the golden calf, and rebellion. So the punishment was 3,000 men were executed after this incident because it was showing that how serious this sin is. Because they were saying that this is the God who saved you from Egypt, which is blasphemous in the first place. So it's a rebellion against the authority of God. It's a rebellion against the Ten Commandments, and so on and so forth.
Reverend, would you add regarding the Moses earns the title friend of God?
Yes. Yeah, he's the friend of God as compared to the people. So the people were not friends of God; they became enemies of God. So that's the contrast there. They were doing a lot of things that they shouldn't have been doing. They were mocking Moses. Why? How come he's so long? Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's, there was not a level of faith there. Maybe he has, God has forgotten us. So these kinds of thoughts also plague our society today. Like if something bad happens, we say, "Oh, God has forgotten us," and we repeat it. We repeat it to ourselves, even to our family. It affects a lot of people with that kind of doubt or that kind of rebellious heart. I don't know if there's a song for the rebellious heart.
It sounds like one, doesn't it? Maybe you can write it.
I'll write it after this.
That's your application.
Yeah, write a song.
We'll form a song.
Okay, so I think that ends with our discussion, and that comes to our application or maybe principles. So what I'm also getting from our discussion is like there's impatience with the Israelites. So maybe a principle for that is impatience with God can lead us to sin, or maybe often can lead us to sin. And also for spiritual leaders, right? Us, spiritual leaders. We are called to obey God and, above people. And also we need to guard them from sin. And also we need to faithfully intercede for these people also on their behalf. Just like what Moses did for the Israelites. And another is about God. God is just. And you mentioned God is also merciful. And He shows mercy through prayer according to His will. So it's also important. Prayer also plays an important role in Christianity, in our lives. So yeah, maybe for reflection, where in your life that you are becoming impatient with God's timing, and how might that be leading you to trust something else instead of God? And also, who can you intentionally pray or intercede for this week, trusting that God hears and responds according to His will?
Okay, thank you, Abby.
All right, thank you, Abby.
This ends our episode 4, and I hope that we can have more discussions like this. God bless you.